Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be continuing on restoring this 1983 IT 175. This episode is a plastic polishing episode. I'm going to be going over this tank as well as the rear fender in this episode. It hasn't got any cracks, but it's got some nasty gouges. Look at this one here. It'll take a lot of work to get rid of that. Also here and here. So anyway, we'll be going over that. I'm going to teach you what I know. And once again, thanks for tuning in. Okay, we should go over the tools you're going to require. You're going to need a variable speed auto buffer. And then I've got various cutting pads. I've got the orange one, blue and black refiner. Finally, the wool pad. You're going to need some auto body polishing compound. You need some water in a bucket. You're going to need some dish soap, just ordinary dish soap. You're going to need an orbital palm sander. And I've got various grits of paper. So we're going to be using the orbital sander up to 400 grit, and then beyond that it'd be hand sanding. So I guess we'll get on to that big scratch first. You're going to be starting with the worst spot first. I'm going to be starting with 180 grit on this orbital palm sander. I'm hoping that will take it out. The biggest thing I need to stress, like down here where it's just oxidized, you don't need to go 180 grit, like probably 320 or 400. So the big thing to take away from this is if you put a scratch in with your sanding disc, you still have to take that scratch out. And it is a lot of work. Like if you're looking for easy answers on polishing your tank, this isn't the video. I mean, there's lots of guys out there on the internet that talk about, oh, put boiled linseed oil or heat it with a heat gun. That works in certain areas, but here, you're never going to take that out without a heat gun. And I just want to stress, this is a lot of work. So if you take this project on, you know, just know that you're going to have 10 to 20 hours in a tank by the time you're done. So anyways, let's get started and see how the 180 grit does. So there's the plastic itself coming off. You can see how the color's changing. That is a deep scratch. I may look for some 120 grit to get that done faster. So we'll come back when I get that sanded out. Okay, I'd switched up to 120 grit and that scratch is almost gone. You kind of got to feather it out. You don't want to make like a divot right where the scratch is. I'm going to now move back to 180 to finish taking the scratch out. But while I got the 120 disc on, I'm going to go ahead and get these other really bad spots. Okay, you can see that big scratch is mostly gone. That's the 180 grit. Anywhere there was a big scratch or big gouge, I hit with 120 then 180. But this, for example, that doesn't need to be. I'm going to try 320 here because I don't want to put any more scratches in than I have to. So let's give 320 a try on the rest of the tank. Even with that little bit of sanding, you can see the oxidization is coming off. So I'm just going to stick with 320 until we run into another deep gouge that 320 won't handle. Okay, I've had to drop down to 120 on everything to try and get that yellow out. But here's a perfect example. Hopefully the camera picks this up. It's bright blue here. It's kind of a yellowish blue here. And I think I could sand right through a hole right through the tank and never get rid of that. It's just from the gas, 40 years of gas being in there. Just gonna have to live with it. So I'll go back through the paces, 220, 180, 220, 320, 400. And after I'm done all that, we'll come back when it's time to start wet sanding. I discovered something that's kind of working well with this old IT plastic. I got it like just a knife blade or a razor blade, kind of taking it at a right angle to the tank and just scraping. You see how much it's pulling off. That's how much you would have to sand off. So this will save a bit of time. Probably go right up to wet and dry 400 on your hand sanding. Just be careful you're working with a razor blade, but this seems to be working pretty good on this tank. You can see how much material is coming off. Works especially well in the crowns where the radius is higher. Yeah, that yellow is in there. It's in the plastic for good. We'll just have to live with it, but we'll make it shiny. Okay, now you're going to want to take your bucket of water, put just a drop or two of dish soap in. It helps the paper from plugging up with plastic. I've got it scraped. There's a spot here I'll have to sand later, but I want to try the 500 grit. I've got some wet and dry 500. That's all the store had. We're going to wet sand this for a while, and it should reveal any spots that I missed. If the 500 isn't cutting enough, see there, it's kind of, the soap stops that from plugging. If the 500 isn't cut enough, then I'll drop down to 320 grit. But we'll try this first. Okay, I ended up dropping down to 320 wet and dry, hand sanding it with the water and the soap. I kind of got sick of that after a while. I let the tank dry off, and then now I've been hitting it with the 400 grit on the orbital sander. I find above 400, like if you tried to do 600-800, the paper just plugs. 400 is about the limit I've found. Once in a while you can take a wire brush, just clean the pores of the paper out. At $1 a piece, you want to try and make these sanding pads last as long as they can. But I'm going to hit the whole thing with the orbital sander one more time. Call it a day. I got dish pan hands. Probably got about 4 hours into this tank now. And we'll come back another day and continue on. Okay, I was able to go up to 600 with that orbital sander without it plugging. This plastic is sanding different than some of the other tanks I've done, like a Honda CR tank. This one seems a little easier. So now we're gonna go back to wet sanding. I'm starting at 600 wet and dry. We'll do this for an hour or so. Then we'll be ready to try the first cut with a polishing wheel. You can see it's even taking plastic off. So this is the point in the project where you must be patient. Be ready to throw it in the trash because you've been sanding on this thing for hours. But just take your time. You can kind of tell when the spot is sanded properly because the paper will quit making noise. It'll get really quiet and smooth. If you hit a patch that's not sanded enough, you can hear it get a little rougher. So we'll come back when I got this all wet sanded. Okay, we're going to try a cut here with the most coarse pad I've got. Just going to put a little bit of this polishing compound on. You don't need a whole bunch. A little water on the pad, a little water on the tank. And this is why you need the variable speed. If you let it go full speed, it will fling it everywhere in your shop. So I'm going to turn the speed down, and then once it starts to dry out, I'll speed up. I'm moving up to the black pad, which is a more finer cut. Turn my speed back down. Last step's going to be with the whole pad. I don't think I'm anywhere close to being done. I think I'm going to have to wet sand more, but the polish will at least tell you where you're getting close and where you still got a lot of work to do. So it has come up. It is getting shiny, but I'm not satisfied yet. I'm going to go back over it with 600 and then maybe 800. You can still see scratches here. You can see swirl marks here. Depends how much work you want to do. I mean, if you just want to take your bike out into the bush and ride it, this might be good enough. Mine's going to be more of a show bike, I guess, so I'm going to spend some more time. But the basic polishing technique I showed you, you just got to keep sanding. You find a spot, you can see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's still work to do. So anyway, we're going to come back when it's all finished. We'll have a look at that rear fender as well. Well, the tank is definitely getting closer. I need a break from it though. It gets so monotonous. And then you'll sand and sand and sand for an hour and then find a spot you missed. You know, it's you gotta be patient with it. I'm gonna do a little work on the fender here just for a change of pace. I built this little jig in the past to hold another fender on a little QR50, so I'm just going to use it to bolt this fender down. It makes it a lot easier to get pressure on there where you need it. So I'll digitally zoom here. There's a couple spots where somebody looped this bike out and creased the fender, turned the plastic white. No matter how much you sand, it won't change color. But I discovered if you give that spot a little bit of heat, it will make that go away. Maybe not totally, but it looks a heck of a lot better. I wouldn't suggest using heat everywhere on the fender. I've been told it brings the oils to the surface, which isn't good for the plastic long term. But basically, I've been working away at this with a flexible sanding pad, says 320 to 400. It's been a lot of work. It's starting to come along. There wasn't really any deep scratch. It was mostly just oxidized. Anyway, that white is kind of mostly gone. Sand, 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 and when you're sick of sanding, sand another 2 hours. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. I ended up wet sanding 600, did a polish with the orange pad and buffed, and she come up pretty nice. It's funny how this plastic acts. Like usually a fender plastic's harder to sand, like on a Honda, but on this this IT 175, it actually was easier than the tank. These spots here, I'm not too worried about. It gets covered by a tool bag. That little spot gets covered by a bar that comes down to the frame. So I've kind of really polished the parts that are going to show. I think it turned out good. A little bit more work to do on the tank, and then we'll come back at the end and do a before and after. So if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Got this rear fender kind of lightly mounted on for now, just a safe spot to put it. Turned out really nice. Let's do a little before and after on that. And then the tank has come a long way, as you can see. We'll do a little before and after. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. It's up to you how much time you want to spend. I was not able to get all of the yellow out of the plastic. I don't know how deep you'd have to sand. I think it's sun damage. You may be able to sand through that, but then you run the risk of your tank getting thin. I've heard that these are prone to cracking because there isn't one single one of these used on eBay if I wanted to buy one. Clark does make an aftermarket one. Replica. I don't think it looks as nice as how this turned out. Color might be a little better. I end up going with these decals with the holes in them in an effort to stop them from bubbling, but every decal I've ever put on a tank, once you put gas in them, they bubble. Anyway, hopefully this helps you with your plastic project. I want to say thanks for tuning in. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay tuned. In the new year will be the final episode on the build. And then I'll probably do an episode in the spring when I can take it out and ride it. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.